Objective Fan. The Objective Fan.
What's up, Knicks Nation? Welcome to the show. And as always, we have a whole lot to talk about. Jalen Brunson gets disrespected by the media again. And as y'all know, I am on the head top. We're going to get to the bottom of this once again. And, you know, I'm noticing now people are coming for Dolan again. Second aprons and this, that, and the third. So I guess today we're going to have to refresh some people's memory. My question of the day, very important question. Can the Knicks repeat again while playing from down? Is it a concern of the Knicks playing from behind, having to catch up? Should we be concerned coming into the next season? The Knicks made history by coming back, but we'll talk more about that. And once again, media, we're going to come to a conclusion today about Knicks fans because this is a Knicks fan channel, but according to the same media platform that came for JB, Knicks fans don't have high hopes for the New York Knicks. But look, we're going to get to that all today on the Blue and Orange Brunch Show. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am your host, Karan Pierre, the Objective Fan, and I'm straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest. Man, you know the vibes. Tell a friend that we live, man. Hey. Welcome to the show. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day as the beautiful weather in New York City continues. But before we do address the show topics, we have to address the proper formality. We have to smash the like button. So as you enter the show, smash that like button so we can let the YouTube algorithm know that this is the place to be. And we're still cooking with hot grease. While you're at it, you might as well subscribe because well over 50% of you guys who watched in the last 28 days, you're just not subscribed. So subscribe now and help us close the gap. We're on the road to 10K subs, and each time we reach new subscriber milestones, we do have special giveaways. And look, the next is the OG Anunoby sneaker giveaway, courtesy of J-Tap Mom, OKF Nation. So in order to be a part of this giveaway, you have to be subscribed to the channel. You also have to hit that bell icon so you get all the notifications. And you have to be live on air in order to be entered in the chance. So you got to stay tuned. If you really want a chance to win these kicks in your size, all you have to do, once again, is subscribe, hit that bell icon. But yes, the OG Anunoby sneaker giveaway is in full effect. You don't got to do nothing. Hey, you see, guys, the thing about me is I make it easy. In order to win prizes on my channel, you don't got to jump through hoops. You don't got to be none of that. Only thing you have to do, you have to follow instructions. But we give away stuff all the time, man. Salute the OKF Nation, man. I appreciate you, J-Tap, Mom. Let me see who's up in the building. All right. Okay. Uh-oh. All right. Is that okay? Matter of opinion. All right. Uncut. So I'm assuming that's Waltz P. Once again, okay. Big time salute to you, OKF Nation Plus. Matter of opinion. By the way, I will be checking out your channel too, Waltz P. What's good, Joseph? Good to see you. Mellow Mike, OKF Nation. What's good? The Westchester Knicks correspondent. Mr. Williams, greetings to you. Zach, OKF Nation. What's good? J-Top Mob in the building. Trapped in the 90s. What's going on? JJ, what's good? I see you, man. Marie B, welcome to the show. OKF Nation. Randu, OKF Nation, what's going on, man? Oh, yeah, as you guys are in to continue smashing that like button, man. I see somebody say, yo, why do we got to talk about the media? Because it's content. Think about it. When they write what they write, we can't, what are we going to do? We can't influence the writing, but we can respond to it. We can correct it in real time. Because I'm telling you right now, a lot of these platforms coming to the channel, be using the ideas all the time. So it's only fair that I use their ideas. Well, I'm going to critique it, honestly. Yeah, I'm going to critique it. I'm sorry. But salute to y'all. Yo, we have to have these shows. Oh, yeah. Today is going to be a doozy. But the question of the day, is it a concern that the Knicks had the most comeback wins when trailing by 10 points in NBA history? The Knicks were 6-2 in the playoffs, trailing by 10 or more. Never been done before in history. Is that a concern? Do you guys think we can duplicate that? Is this something that we should abandon? I want to know. That's my question of the day. So when you call up, that's on the table if you would like to address it. I'm going to get to Jalen Brunson in a second. We'll get to Jalen Brunson. We definitely get to Jalen Brunson. I do have a, oh my goodness, a weird trade that I want to get into as well. By the way, the New York edition is still available for pre-order. All right, salute to everybody who ordered theirs. All you have to do is check out my Linktree. Linktree/TheObjectiveFan. I'm going to get that link for you right now because for a limited time, it comes with free shipping. All right. All you have to do is go to Linktree/TheObjectiveFan, and we'll talk a little bit more about this later. It is now pinned in the chat. All right. What else I want to say? I will be back tonight. The two-a-days continue. I'll probably do two-a-days for the rest of the week because honestly, there's a lot of topics to talk about. There's some more good stuff. Like I think tonight we'll talk about Josh Hart's last interview. Some of the things that he said I felt were kind of interesting. We'll get into that. And some more. There's some good stuff to talk about. But I'm going to start off with talking about a very, very weird trade proposal. But the reason why I want to bring this trade proposal up, because this also might stir some good conversation amongst the Knicks faithful. But Karl Anthony Towns, big bodega, he's pending an extension, right? I think that he's going to sign the hometown discount. I think that's going to be the best alternative for both parties, okay? However, if he doesn't sign the extension, the question remains, will you have to trade Bodega Cat? What do you think will be the alternative if they can't agree? That's, once again, I don't think that this will be the case. My issue with trading Cat and why I want to pay him the 35% is because I feel like you're not going to get fair value in return. We were having a debate yesterday inside the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. Salute to all the channel members. That's a part of the server. We gets it in over there. We got a 24/7 Knicks chat. And the conversation was about who is more replaceable or who is irreplaceable between OG and Towns. And honestly, I don't see a world where you trade Towns and you get better. Like, he's the third best center in the Eastern Conference. It's not like if you trade Towns, you're going to get Jokic, you're going to get Wemby, or you're going to get somebody else up there. You're not. So I came across this trade package, and I've been keeping track of some ridiculous trade packages. I got at least right now, the week just started, I got like 6 ridiculous trades. Yes, and This Week Inside the Knicks too. Salute to all the This Week Inside the Knicks people. This Week Inside the Knicks is a podcast we do on Mondays. So one of the things I do is I keep track of all the news for the week, put it in one article so you could easily keep track of all the news that took place, right? A lot of good sources, a lot of good things there. So this is how I stumble across this stuff, right? Because I literally read every single piece of news. Even though these are not news articles, sometimes I give these things my eyes because I'm curious to see how other people are thinking the Knicks should navigate the terrain right now, because the Knicks are in a very, very interesting spot in time. Now, go to research mode. And once again, I came across this Karl-Anthony Towns trade, and I was like, you see, this is why we can't trade Towns. Now, this is from Yahoo Sports, but they might have got it from somewhere else, but let's just stick with Yahoo for now. Oh, I went to the wrong window. My bad. Okay, so not sure what happened to the screen. Froze up on me. Okay. All right, so Knicks proposed to trade Towns for $216 million Blazer star duo. All right, so now I do agree. Before I got the news that Shaedon Sharpe is going to miss the next 6 months with a torn meniscus, I believe that the Portland Trailblazers were a huge threat. I even went as far to say that if they came across San Antonio again in the playoffs, they would give San Antonio a run. But without Shaedon Sharpe, I don't know. And then with some of the other reports I'm seeing, I'm not sure how true it is. Remember, it is summertime, and a lot of times people are just writing things just to pass the time. But there was reports that they were looking to buy Jrue Holiday out. I'm like, wait, what? So I'm getting the feeling that Portland doesn't know what the hell they're doing. I know their owner is kind of tight with the cash. He's not really trying to spend much money. So I don't know if that's coming from the top. Like, hey, slow it down. We got to watch the spending. Maybe. I don't know. But the bottom line is some of the moves that Portland is trying to make, I don't really think they're good moves. But nonetheless, Blazers took a step, winning 42 games. All right. They got Ja Morant, Dame Lillard. Okay. So does Ja Morant and Dame Lillard render Jrue Holiday as replaceable as you put him on the market? Maybe. I don't know. I didn't mean to hit that. We'll see what happens. It's a mystery to me. All right. Now, in the front court is where the Blazers could use some help. While the franchise has not indicated it is yet in the market for a big swing, there is an argument to be made that the Blazers are one star away from chasing with the Titans of the West deep in the playoffs. It's time to shoot for the Knicks big man, Karl-Anthony Towns. To me, this is the example as to why you can't trade Towns. You're going to get people to offer packages. But the Portland Trailblazers are looking to get better. Could we all agree, to all the guys in the chat right now, can we agree that the Portland Trailblazers would be way better if they were able to trick the Knicks out of their spot for Karl-Anthony Towns? Keep it real. Could we agree on that? All right. Now, here is the package. The Blazers receive Karl-Anthony Towns. The Knicks receive Jrue Holiday and Toumani Camara, all right, and a first-round pick. I keep telling y'all, if you trade Towns away, you're going to get what I call a Trae Young package. That is a decent player, maybe a young player like a Kamara, and you'll be lucky to get a first-round pick. Is that going to take us back to the championship? Is Drew Holiday and Kamara going to take us back to the championship? I'm glad I ran across this because, salute to my man J-Tap Mob. It was me, him, and D from LA. We were talking. And I feel like those two guys, including my man D, who was on my side, I think they believe they can trade Towns to get better. I don't think that there's a world where that could be. There's no world where that could be because usually when if you consider Towns a star, but when you trade star players away, you usually get lesser players in return because the team that is trading away the star is either one, trying to cut their expenses, they're not trying to spend the bread, or you're trying to rebuild. New York should not be either one of those teams because it's going to be bad basketball. But you're not going to get the package you think you want when you trade Towns. And then think about it. Even if you say, okay, we'll trade Towns for Jokic. Jokic ain't taking a pay cut. You do realize that, right? The whole purpose of trading Towns would be for him to take less money. Because he doesn't want to take less money. But if you were to get a superstar in his place, they're going to want the same money that you don't want to pay him. It just doesn't make any sense. There isn't a trade package for Towns that makes sense because you're not going to get another star in return from him. You're not going to get the third best center at the East. You're going to get worse at the center spot. Even if you get a Hartenstein, we've seen what that got us, second round. Yay! Do you want to go back to the second round, Knicks? Because when we got Towns, we did nothing less than the conference finals and the finals. You can say what you want about Big Bodega Cat, but the facts remain that with Cat, we got to the championship. Period. You trade away Cat, in my opinion, you're trading away your trip to the finals. If you just joined the show, continue smashing that like button. I do appreciate your support. All right. This is the Blue and Orange Brunch Show. Smash that like button so we can let the YouTube algorithm know that this is the place to be. And we're still cooking with hot grease. I see y'all saying nope, nope, nope in the chat. Y'all not feeling that? This is what you're going to get when you got to trade Town. When you have to trade Towns, you're not going to get, oh, yeah, we're going to get young guys to balance the roster. I'm telling you, it's not happening. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. That's not how the league works. All right? When you're trading away a star, you're looking to downsize. Period. But continue smashing that like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Well over half of you guys who watched and not subscribed. Help us close the gap in the last 28 days so we can get more of these new viewers converted into subscribers. And this is a good time to subscribe because you just never know. We got the OG and an OB sneaker giveaway. If you want to be a part of that, all you have to do is subscribe and hit the bell icon. Simple. The reason why you want to hit the bell icon is because you want to make sure you stay tuned to all the shows. If you miss a show, you may miss an opportunity to win these prizes because we will be giving away these kicks this week. So you got to make sure you're in the building. All right. Salute to everybody who just watched, though, man. We having a good conversation. Can the Knicks repeat with playing from behind? We broke a record. We went 6-2, but when trailing by 10 or more in the playoffs. Are you concerned about that for this next run? Can we continue to play from behind into a championship this next season? I'm curious to know what you guys' thoughts are. And then also, what are we doing to address that? Because we're not changing the roster. Is there a solution to the problem? Are we just naturally a team that likes to play from behind? You want to let me know? The number's there, 646-995-8389. You can call up and voice your opinion. If I miss your call, I will call you back. But these are some of the topics that we're talking about. And I'll get to the phone lines a little bit later. I want to jump into another topic that may trigger you guys. All right. It's not necessarily that I want to trigger you guys, because I just share with you guys most of the time what the hell's going on outside, right? It's not my news, right? It's not my update. I'm just sharing with you some of the things people are saying. You know, sometimes my question may be triggering, but it'll always be a real question. You know, like we have to really think about it. You know, how I'm not going to say lucky, because people confuse when I say team of destiny with luck. But there is some fortune in being down 10 or more in 8 games and winning 6 of those games, and that never being done in history. I keep telling you guys, it's harder to be the first team to do something in history, right? And we've seen the Knicks do a lot of those things. It's very difficult to do that, right? It's better to deliver and cover your bases on things that normal champions do. Like, normal champions don't play from behind. I know we're special, but there's nothing wrong with being normal, right? So yeah, we got to talk about that. Of course, Jalen Brunson getting disrespected. I'm gonna get to that. Oh boy. A lot of good topics. So I want to talk about the boss of all bosses, James Dolan. Really quickly. So Dolan, he man, he's getting a lot of heat from media and fans still, right? I don't know the guy personally, so I don't really care about his personal business. I don't care about his personal view. I don't care what he does personally. As long as his personal dealings doesn't impact the Knicks negatively, I don't really care about what the man does. So a lot of people don't like Dolan for a lot of reasons. I'm bottom line oriented, meaning that I look at the bottom line. It's either this is working or it's not working. And clearly the Knicks are a well-oiled machine. The 25-26 champions under Dolan's watch. So I argue that Dolan was one of the best owners in the NBA. Can you name an owner right now that's better than Dolan? How do you judge the owners and what they do for their teams? Do you look at the money? Do you look at the success? Do you look at the moves? Do you look at the state of the franchise? Is there scandal, drama, controversy? I mean, we've seen that. We've seen that across the league. Does Dolan have any of that? So I feel like there's a lot of bias because I do a good job on this mic. You know, I've done a lot of things. I pioneered a lot. I'm not going to lie. I am the originator, right? I was the first one to talk about Deuce McBride signing this deal and still can be traded. You know, I do a lot of things. I was Mikal Bridges' attorney. I helped shape the perception of Mikal Bridges in the Knicks world, right? A lot of people were looking at Mikal as a bucket getter. I told y'all that's not his role, right? Had 2 trial dates where I was his attorney. So I do a lot of originating over here. I'm the originator, all right? And the one thing, the reason why I'm talking about me being the originator is that when it comes to Dolan, I was the first one to tell you that Dolan was 100% right when he went on WFAN and he said they're not going in the second apron. A lot of you guys, some of y'all are still in the chat. Oh no, what are you talking about? We have to sign Mitchell Robinson, and that's what he's going to do. It only makes sense. But people continue to jump off the deep end. I don't understand it. We already got past it. I showed you the dangers of the second apron. I've been talking about the second apron since the inception of the second apron. I got shows on it. If you go back to 2024 on this channel, I got shows on the second apron. All we did was get more information. We learned from the Celtics. Ooh, that's not a good idea. But they put it on Dolan. And this is what we got to address. Now, I know you got to pay the cost to be the ball. I understand that. But this is like, to me, it's just pure bias. Let me go to research mode. So James Dolan is gambling. It could cost the Knicks more than he thinks. That's not the only article. Our beloved Daily Knicks also has an article on this. Mitchell Robinson isn't the only impact player James Dolan costs the Knicks. You see, when they say James Dolan cost the Knicks, half of y'all don't even understand why that's problematic. I did a lot of content on this. Because the assumption is that James Dolan is at fault for not going into the second apron. That was the thought process. That was what I was challenging from day one. Like I say, I'm the originator. I'm on the front lines of new frontiers, breaking stuff down that no one else has covered. That's what I usually do. This is why you should subscribe to the channel. Not just for the free OG Anunoby sneakers. That's cool. That's fun. But the facts is, when it comes to breaking down the information, this is what I do every single day. So yes, we're going to talk about the media disrespecting Jalen Brunson. We'll get to that topic in a second. But we're going to, I'm here every day, so I could talk about a lot. I got shows. I got clips. I'm here every day. So you're going to have to get familiar. But why are we going back to this? I already addressed this. It's a little annoying having a double back. It's like, yo, I'm not sure how many of you guys work with your hands. Some of y'all may be at work right now. Salute to everybody who's working hard right now at their jobs, whether it's 9 to 5 in it, blue collar, white collar, whatever you're doing. Salute to y'all. I'm just here to help y'all pass the time. Call in, on your lunch break, get your talk off, get your points off. That's what this show's about. But it's a little frustrating when you're at your job and you do something, and now either someone comes, they undo what you did, right? Now you got to redo it, or you already explained it to somebody, and now this person was late for the meeting or didn't come to the meeting, and now you got to explain the same thing you just explained to them to him or her. This is why I'm frustrated. Mitchell Robinson isn't the only player that James Dolan cost the Knicks. But why doesn't Sam Presti get the same rap? Because he capped. See, James Dolan kept it real. Kept it real. He told y'all. He told you Towns was the only trade, the star we get. We're not getting no other star. All that Giannis stuff, Giannis was never in the plans. There was never another star. Towns was the star. That's why when you want to trade him, it just sounds ridiculous because you're not getting the same package back. Clearly, we won the trade against Minnesota. It took a couple of years for us to decipher it, but once we won the even before that, once they got bumped in the second round and we continued to go further than them in the playoffs, we won the trade. And then they traded away Julius Randle for nothing. So that is the example of the package you're going to get, Knicks Nation. You're going to get a package that may last a year or two. It's similar to what I say about Mitchell Robinson. I think he's the fall guy in Boston. I don't think he's going to last much longer, but that's a whole nother topic. bottom line, you can't trade Towns and get better. We already seen that it didn't work for Minnesota. Bringing it back to Dolan, though. Nobody calls Sam Presti a liar, a capper, or none of that when he said, we're going to go into the second apron. Sam Presti said that. Oh, we won't allow that to happen. We'll go into the second apron. And then guess what? Did the Oklahoma City Thunder go into the second apron? What happened to Oklahoma? Oh, it's just Dolan. This is Dolan's call. This Dolan's call. Oh, really? It's Dolan's call. Okay. Let's go to Oklahoma City Thunder, man. All right. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, ooh, by the way, I made some progress on that debate I keep telling y'all about. I'm just waiting for the confirmation of the date. We got the Knicks War Room right before the season. Just letting y'all know I'm working. I got a debate in the works. But when you get in the ring with me, you have to understand that the argument, you can't have holes in your argument. You can't use one scenario that works over here, but it doesn't work over here, and then blame a factor over here when it's a universal problem. Meaning the second apron is not a Dolan problem. He's the only owner to speak up. No other owner spoke up about the second apron. He was the only one to say that it was like, well, he said it was a suicide or something like that. I can't remember the exact comment, but y'all know on WFAN, he pretty much shunned the second apron. He is the only owner to speak up. Now, because he's the only owner to speak up, the people who don't really understand the ramifications of the second apron, or the people who don't like him, are going to say Dolan's fault. But when Sam Presti got up there and capped, man, we're going to the second apron. What was his rationale for not going into the second apron? As you can see, Oklahoma, they got $6 million in space. They traded off Lou Dort. They traded off Isaiah Joe. They traded off the other brother, Wiggins. 3 players that was essential to their rotation. We lost one player in Mitchell Robinson who only played 13 minutes in the playoffs. They lost a starter and 2 other key players. But no one talks about Sam Presti. Why didn't the article, right, say Sam Presti is gambling? It cost the Thunder more than he thinks. Why wasn't that the title of this article? Can y'all explain that to me? I drop a video saying y'all were wrong about Dolan, and y'all were wrong. It's not about Dolan not wanting to spend money. That's cap. Dolan spends the most money. Are y'all listening to me? Dolan spends the most money. 3rd straight year in luxury tax. 3rd straight year in luxury tax. Last season, 2nd highest payroll behind the Cavaliers. So to say Dolan doesn't spend money, you just don't know what you're talking about. It's not about the money. It's about the apron. So when I see stuff like this, it drives me crazy. I don't even want to go through the article. Could James Dolan unwillingness go into the second apron eventually hurt the Knicks? Hello. This is why you got to understand more about basketball than just the Knicks. You got to understand the whole entire gambit. Because let me tell you, gambit. Because look, the Boston Celtics, they already showed you what winning a championship looks like and going into the second apron to keep the team. They showed you that. They failed miserably. Not only did they fail miserably, the only way out of the second apron is to lose talent for nothing. So you might as well let one player go then versus Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, then Jalen Brown. They're still dealing with the ramifications of being a second apron team. So what about the inverse? And then I will ask, give me the repeat champion who had success going into the second apron. Give me the guy who repeated going into the second. That person doesn't exist. So the assumption, oh, you should have kept Mitch because losing Mitch, it may hurt. I'm going to lose a guy who played 13 minutes in the finals when I signed 4 players for the same contract that Mitch signed. I got 4 for 1. Look at Leon Rose. You see, the fans don't understand the business of basketball. This is why my show is important. I have to bridge the gap. I have to make sure you guys get the correct information. So that way, when you go on your rant, you know why you're going on your rant. But yeah, if you don't like Dolan, then you're going to say nonsense. It's from a place of ignorance. But my question about this article in particular, why didn't it say Sam Presti is gambling? It could cost the Knicks more than he thinks. Why didn't this article go after the OKC Thunder? Why is it Dolan's fault? Because Dolan didn't want to go into the second apron. And then it's the same thing with Daily Knicks. Now, this article is talking about Cam Carr, who I wish we could have signed. I like Cam Carr. I think Cam Carr is a phenomenal talent, but we're a championship team. We're not looking at rookies, dog. We're looking at veterans. And you know, so let's talk all the people who comment on the videos. I can't comment on all of them or respond to all of them. But I see when people are saying things that make sense. Like one person said, Leon has to be doing something. He has to have somebody in mind. He has to be plotting. We're looking beyond rookies. It's deeper than rap. Cam Carr is nice, but we need somebody now that can help us repeat. So this is why we had to pivot away from Cam Carr. The reason why is because that pick is $3.1 million. We don't have nobody besides Landry Shamet. Hold on, let me go to Sports Track. Landry Shamet and I think Jose are the only 2 players that make more than $3 million that we signed. Yeah, Landry Shamet, Jose, right? Drummond's cap hit is 2.5. Diawara is 2.6, right? Jordan Clarkson's 2.4. So we weren't trying to spin that bag. We had to bring these guys back. These guys helped us win the championship. If you give the 3.1 to Cam Carr, now instead of having the 3.2 accessible, it might have been 2.4 or just under the minimum. So now you're stuck and now you have to make a trade. And when you have to make a trade, you put yourself in a vulnerable position. Now you go into negotiations having to make a deal. It takes away from your leverage. We had the conversation yesterday about the Giannis thing. The reason why the Knicks could never get Giannis is, one, I don't think the Knicks believe that the Bucks would trade Giannis. Giannis never requested a trade to the Knicks. He never demanded a trade to the Knicks. He never said, I'm only going to the Knicks. I'm not going to Miami. I'm not going to none of these teams. I only want to go. He never did that. That's why Giannis wasn't in New York. It's very simple. And then after we won the championship, now, oh, I don't know, I want to go to New York. Oh, man, they already won. Man, I wanted them to win with me. So I'm sharing this information so that way we could be on point, Knicks Nation, because we're not. We're not on point. And I see these articles and I'm like, dude, I debunked this months ago. What are we talking about? We talked about this in June. And I still got to see Dolan costing the Knicks. It's not Dolan, it's the second apron. Anyway, I digress. Smash that like button. Do appreciate you guys and your support. We got to continue smashing the like button. It's very important, y'all. All right. Smash that like button, man. Salute to the chat. I'm glad some of y'all feeling the message, man. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm the objective fan, man. I'm here to balance the scales. I'm here to make sure you guys get the proper information, man. The last thing the thing I dislike the most is ignorant Knicks fans who think they know. See, it's not even just ignorant Knicks fans. It's the ones that think they know, but they don't know. By the way, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Very important to the YouTube algorithm. All right. We know that a lot of new viewers watch, but they don't subscribe in the last 28 days, well over 50%. Help us close the gap because each time we reach new subscriber milestones, we do have special giveaways. And the next giveaway is the OG Anunoby sneaker giveaway, courtesy of my man, J-Tap Mob, OKF Nation. Stand up. All you got to do is subscribe, man. That's it. It's very simple. Hit the bell icon because you don't want to miss a show. The only way to enter into win a pair of the OG Anunobys, you have to be tuned into the shows because you just never know where one of those pairs are going to go. I was trying to rhyme. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I used to rap back in the day, man. I got bars. Just ask J-Tap Ma. By the way, salute to J-Tap Ma. He said Presti doesn't own the Thunder. J-Tap, you're missing the point. You're missing the point. The reason why I brought Sam Presti up is because he said that he will go into the second apron. That's what Presti said. Dolan never said that. Listen to the logic. Presti said that he would go into the second apron to keep his guys. On the record. Look it up. Presti said that. When it was time to keep his guys, it was financial issues. The finances is not the apron, it's the apron comes with the finances, dog. If you go into the second apron, you're going to pay an exorbitant amount of luxury tax, which they were scheduled to pay $200 million, somewhere near there. It could have been a little less, maybe 175, anywhere between 175 to 200. That's what the Thunder would have had to pay to keep Dort and the other young guys. So guess what they said? We ain't doing that. Oh no, we ain't doing that. So that's why I brought it up, J-Tap. I wasn't just picking him up out of the thin air. I'm just saying he said that he wouldn't allow the second apron break up his team, and it did. But no one talks about that. So whoever liked that comment, shame to you. But I'm going to like it too because that's my man J-Tap Mob. I'm just saying. All right? That's why I brought him up. Because he said it out his own mouth. Yeah. But no one's holding him accountable. All right. So I'm going to get into the news of the day if you're just watching. Jalen Brunson gets disrespected by the media again. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. You know, I'm gonna stand up for the captain every time. Listen, you can't say nothing bad about Jalen Brunson. Not to me. It's not happening. Do you understand that we won the championship? Like seriously, like we got a ring. We did it, Knicks Nation. Be proud. I always say I have a standard. That's why it's hard to debate me. Because you have to consider my standard. You're not going to catch me in the logical fallacies. It's not happening. It won't happen. Because I speak from a standard. My standard for the past 30 years, the best player in the world is the best player on the best team who wins the championship. That's been my standard for the last 30 years. You don't think I'm going to use my standard when the Knicks win? They just so happen to be my favorite team. And Jalen Brunson is the best player on that team. And they win the he's the best player in the world. It's really, to me, it's like Are we really just covering our own you know what's because we have to uphold some sort of thick image you're trying to present? Because I know life is not fair. I know. You want fair, you got to go to the carnival. I get that. I'm not asking for fairness. I have evidence to prove that Jalen Brunson is the best player in the world. So if anybody wants that fade, do know I'm ready to take it. I'm just letting you know. I'm not the guy that's going to say this person is the best just because I'm a Knicks fan and it sounds good. If you don't think I'm going to come with a million slides, a million, guess again. But when I see things like this, and we're going to be talking about the Athletic multiple times because the Athletic also thinks they know what Knicks fans think, right? Salute to them. Great platform. The Athletic is one of my favorite platforms, right? They're the best at what they do, in my opinion. Like, the reason why I like the Athletic a lot is because they are thorough, right? It's a paid subscription. You got to spend bread on it. I do. But what I like about the Athletic is they always give the most detail. So like if they're talking about an expansion, you're not going to get more detail anywhere else. You might have to go like the Washington Post or something like that. But they're going to give tremendous amount of detail and background. Like they write real. Honestly, I'm going to keep it real. Even though I disagree with them on this Brunson point, they kind of inspire the way I write. Because like when I write articles, I don't write 3-paragraph articles. Mine is like 20 word pages. Very detailed with sources. That's how I write articles. That's why I don't write a lot of articles, because I really don't got the time to be writing like that. But I want to write more. I do. I got to find a balance. Maybe I go from 20 to 10 pages. But I'm never going to write a 3-paragraph article. It's just too much information, right? So I'm going to put this on the screen. I'm going to go to research mode. All right. And so, of course, you know, the Athletic, we talked about Big Bodega Cat, right? We did a show on Cat when they ranked the big guys, right? And that listing just didn't make no sense. Now they're doing lead guards, all right? And I feel like when they're doing these rankings, it just doesn't make any damn sense. Like, standard-wise, and I'm going to tell you why. So, and we could read the first paragraph. We're ranking the top 40 at every position in today's positionless NBA. On Friday, we went over the top 40 big men, which we did the content on that, where they had Towns ranked 3rd, right? In an unprecedented turn of events, nobody disagreed with the rankings. That's cap. By the way, we disagreed strongly. Hey, Athletic, salute to y'all. I think y'all one of the best, but I disagree with the rankings for sure. Because I didn't understand personally how Wemby could be ahead of Towns. I don't get it. Like that, I just don't. You got to explain that to me. I didn't get it. Sorry. Anyway, so yeah, I disagree with that. And I'll take that fade too if you really want to go there. In an unprecedented turn of events, nobody disagreed with the rankings. I also did not read comments or social media replies. Well, you didn't see my video. I think we might have had like 150 people up in there. There was people there, so you didn't stumble to the video. Anyway, today we move to the lead guard. So you know what I got to do? Do you think I should write a response to them? Maybe I need to write a response to Zach Harper, because he's thinking that his information is perfect and nobody want to respond. Dog, I want to respond. The list is crazy, dog. Listen, I love y'all. One of my favorite news sources. I cite y'all every day. But at the same time, this list is insane. All right? Now, let me see. Do they got anything else standard-wise? Today, we moved the lead guards. It's a bit broader term than the traditional point guard. Positions could be arbitrary. We may disagree on the idea of who is a lead guard and who isn't. But I feel pretty solid that anybody left off this list is either not in the top 40 or placed correctly. I don't care about the top 40. I only care about the top 3. So this is the list right here. Tier 1, the MVPs and Finals MVPs. Didn't yesterday, I had a question. Was that yesterday about the MVP versus the final MVP? What ranks more? Did we talk about that yesterday? I could have sworn I did a show on that. Yeah, I did a level-headed Knicks talk on Sunday. And we talked about this. The MVPs versus the final MVPs. Y'all let me know, where do y'all rank them? Do you rank the regular season MVP ahead of the finals MVP? What say you? I know we talked about that the other day, but that question comes back into play. But I take this as disrespect. I really do. You know why? Because SGA was the #1 lead guard right after he won the championship. It was a battle between him and Luka. But once he won the championship, SGA was the best. Without a doubt. Right? As you can see from the list, SGA was ranked 1 last year, and Luka was ranked 2 because it shows you where they were last year on the right side. So my question is, if SGA, the finals MVP, was #1, how could, going into the 26-27 season, how could Jalen Brunson be left off the list as the #1? There is no competition between Brunson and anybody. At this point, he got half a forehead at least over SGA. Let alone Luka, who ain't never win no God. I gotta relax. Relax. Gotta relax. Luka ain't win nothing. Luka ain't. Yeah, he was top in the. Okay, you top 5 in MVP voting, multiple years maybe. Okay, what are we talking about? Luka ain't win nothing. We gotta relax. Oh, okay, no, you know what? I'm wrong. Luka won the conference finals MVP. Salute to Luka on that, man. He's a conference finals MVP. That holds no weight. It doesn't. The conference finals MVP by itself holds no weight. It only holds weight when you get the finals MVP. So yeah, the MVPs and finals MVPs, you would have to drop Luka from this list automatically. Luka shouldn't even be on the list. Could we at least agree on that? Luka should not be in tier 1 because he's not a finals MVP, nor is he an MVP. I want to talk to my man that wrote this again, because he said nobody challenged his big man perspective. He must means nobody in media challenged it. Maybe the people in media just don't know enough to challenge this. But me, off the rip with no notes, I'm ripping this list apart. I don't even care. I'm not even looking at tier 2. I don't care who's in tier 2. I got now. I don't care who got next. What are we talking about? Right now, I'm #1. And you robbed me again. Hey, by the way, I'm preparing for a debate. I'm just letting y'all know. This is how it works, right? So as soon as I said, okay, as soon as like we didn't even officially agree on a date yet. But the fact that there's interest in it, I already started doing my research. I already start pulling up stuff like this. Let me show you something. Man, I stumbled across this on Twitter, right? And I'm just stacking all of my stuff to the side. Like, okay, oh, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use this. You know, don't say nothing, but I've been stalking Boston news sites. I've been on Boston Reddit, getting the lowdown. You know what I mean? You know how you do intel? I've been doing the intel. Oh boy, it's gonna be. I'm letting you know when I get the date for that debate. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be fireworks, dog. But when I start pulling up stuff like this, and see, this is another thing that we gotta address. When I start pulling up stuff like this, you know what I'm saying? When I start doing things like this, they don't got a prayer's chance in hell of even lasting in a discussion. So what are we looking at when we come up with these lists? Because look, I'm gonna tell you like this. For me, I would never do a list that's regular season based. Or I would never do a list that doesn't factor in the playoffs. This is a fact. Players drafted in 2018 with the most 40-point playoff games. Brunson is not just Brunson in the playoff. He's no longer Brunson. Do y'all realize that? His name in the playoffs is Brunson Jordan. That's who he is. He gets busy. So you can spare me with your regular season 30 balls. Oh, I get 30 in the regular season. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. Who cares? You don't think come on, guys. This is a real question. You don't think Jalen Brunson could average 30 in the regular season if he wanted to? You don't think that he could? Why would I need Jalen Brunson to average 30 when I got a team? I got Big Bodega Cat. Cat could give me 25 and 13. OG Mike could give me 20. I got a squad. Why would I need Brunson to get 30? Mikal Bridges averaged 26 a game in Brooklyn. We got the best starting five in basketball, so the numbers are not going to be inflated. But you know what numbers are inflated? The playoffs. Then they want to say this, right? Then they want to say this. Well, SGA, you know, he was the clutch player of the year. He had the most clutch field goals in the regular season. I said, good for him. Hey, salute to SGA for being the number one clutch guy in the season. You know why we call Captain Clutch? Call Jalen Brunson Captain Clutch. You know why we do that? We don't give a damn about the regular season. We call him Captain Clutch for this. Hold on. This is why we call him Captain Clutch, man. And you trying to tell me that you guys are just into the regular season. That's what it's about. It's the regular season. Because the last time I checked when it comes to the clutch, hold on, let me get this source. Jalen Brunson is the number one clutch player in the last 3 years in the NBA. No one has more clutch buckets than Jalen Brunson in the last 3 years. He's the best clutch player. He's the best player in the playoffs, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So wait, so when we do our list, all we concerned about is regular season accolades. I know, because Steph Curry ain't got a prayer's chance in hell to do nothing in the playoffs. He really doesn't. I know Luka, I picked them to go to the finals, but I didn't pick them to win the finals. And SGA about to get bounced out and again in the Western Conference playoffs and won't even sniff another finals. And you trying to tell me that you putting these guys ahead of Brunson, who has the chance to repeat? One of the few people to ever have an opportunity to repeat? I'm not even going to go into more of my stats because I'm stacking them for the debate, because there's going to be a section about Jalen Brunson. But Jalen Brunson is the best playoff player in the NBA. So what are we valuing? The regular season or the playoffs? Because when it comes to the playoffs, it's not even close that Jalen Brunson's better than these dudes. There's nobody close to Brunson in the playoffs. I'm telling you right now, none of them has done anything in the playoffs like Brunson has. None of them. Then you add the trifecta of MVPs, never done before in NBA history. He did that in the same year. One of the most dominant playoff performances we ever seen. 15 of the last 16 wins in the playoffs. None of these, SGA didn't do that. Steph Curry did it. But that was years ago. Luka ain't got a print. Luka should not be in the top 3. I'm sorry. He really shouldn't. And realistically, I love Steph. Steph, I think he's the best point guard ever. I'm sorry. I know that may piss some of y'all off. I don't care. I love Steph. I think Steph is amazing. But right now in 2026, 27, yeah, Steph does not belong in the top 10. I'm sorry. He doesn't. The real question mark is Jalen, Brunson, and SGA. That is the real battle. It's very disrespectful to put Luka ahead of Brunson when he hasn't won nothing. Hey, salute to Joe Button, man. I dropped that clip yesterday where Joe Button went off. Brunson is way better than Luka. That's a fact. Whether it's way better or we better, I don't care. He's better. And the numbers prove it. Continue smashing that like button. All right, I'll open up the phone lines. 646-995-8389. I feel like I'm a little late into the phone lines today, but it's all good. I had 3 serious topics I had to address. Smash that like button. Do appreciate you guys. I was going to give you more stats, but I said, you know what? I want to say these for the debate. I want to say these for the debate. I'm telling you, yo, listen. This guy is the best in the world, dog. Do not let them take that from you. Do not let them take that from you. It's a joke. Dude, to mention Luka with Jalen Brunson is a joke, dog. I'm sorry, dog. Dude, you could save your regular season triple doubles. That don't mean nothing. It don't mean jack squat. You ain't win nothing. Stop. By the way, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Do appreciate the support. All right. Well, over 50% of you guys who watched in the last 28 days and not subscribed, subscribe now and help us close the gap. By the way, you will want to subscribe because we have that OG Anunoby sneaker giveaway. One of our lucky subscribers will be entered in the chance to win. There's no emails. There's no nothing. All you have to do is subscribe. Hit that like button. Hit that bell icon so you get all the notifications. That's it. And then from there, watch the shows because you just never know when we will give away this kicks. It's going to be this week, though. By the way, also, the 82 Nights New York edition is available for pre-order. Oh, man. It's about to get interesting, man. I'm telling you right now. Last season, I said this. You just never know if this year will be the year. And guess what it was? And I was so happy to have the 82 Nights because it gave me an opportunity to capture all the moments that was special and have a record for what actually happened because sometimes fans be capping. Now, if you're a fan that does more than just watch the games, this journal is made just for you. You can track every game, every score, important trends, players to watch, your top games, fan experiences, and the entire 26-27 season from beginning to end. All you have to do to pre-order your journal is hit that linktree /TheObjectiveFan. The link that's on the screen is also in the chat and in the description of this video. All right. And the cool thing about it is you get free shipping. Of course, that's for a limited time. And this journal will arrive to you right before the season begins. Now, listen, salute to everybody who already placed their pre-orders. And I look forward to seeing all of you guys inside of the brand new 82 Nights Club. Big time salute. Hit those phone lines. 646-995-8389. Call up. Let's have a conversation, man. All right. We got a lot of good topics. Jalen Brunson disrespected again. It's crazy out here in these media, the online media streets. I mean, just a lot going on, dog. I'd be on Twitter like, that's wrong. That's not right. Oh my goodness. Block this guy. It's just the wild, wild west of information, man. And cats get caught every single day. So call up if you can, 646-995-8389. Voice your opinion. I think I do got a super. Check that super out. JTap. Let me see. JTap said, it ain't Presti's money, so he can say whatever he wants. It's not my point. It's not my point. The point that I'm saying is the man said the second apron won't break this team up. He said that out of his own mouth. Then he said, well, we can't do it because of the financials. That's what he said. He's supposed to be the best GM in the world, J-Tap. Why would the owner have to speak when he's supposed to be the best GM ever? He makes magic, right? He got all of these picks, huh? Didn't they say that about Presti? What's about to happen to the Thunder, man, when they lose again this year? What do you think is going to happen to OKC? You tell me, J-Tap. When OKC gets bumped in the second round this year, you tell me what's going to happen with them. The point that I'm saying, though, J-Tap, because the man is praised, while the other man is always ridiculed, they always coming for him, but they're wrong. It's not what Dolan is doing. It's what the second apron does. And Dolan was right. The Knicks have no business in the second apron. For Mitchell Robinson? Hold up. So are you trying to tell me that Mitchell Robinson, who gonna be singing them sad-ass songs, Jason Tatum, if he played, we would have won. You telling me them sad-ass Celtics, the womp-womp-wompers, who now have Mitchell Robinson, we can't win without Mitch? We're doomed. Oh, no. What are we going to do? He played 13 minutes in the playoffs. Stop. Andre Drummond is a nice backup center. Salute to Andre Drummond. All you got to do is go look at the numbers. It's similar, but Drummond gets way more points. Very similar. Mitch ain't no super, no duper upgrade center over Drummond. We don't need Mitch to be super duper Mitch. Mitch only played 13 minutes. That was for a reason. It was a grand scheme. Not grand scheme. Whoa, relax. Oh, slow it down. I'm going to say, because there's nothing grand about it. The plan was never to bring Mitchell Robinson back. I told y'all that last year. So when it happened this year, it was brand new to y'all. I've been telling you it wasn't going to happen. So when Dolan got on the radio, it already confirmed what I already knew. I just wasn't sure that the Knicks would go into the second apron. But then I seen Boston. We already got the example of it. Boston showed us to not do it. They crashed and burned. They failed. That's why they had to trade all their guys away. Also, the thought process that, oh, yeah, they traded Jalen Brown because he wasn't a good guy and he's a cancer to the team. That's cap. Don't fall for the hype. Those guys love Jalen Brown. Facts. Oh, when Tatum said what he said about Brown at the school, how do you know? He didn't name names. We just making an assumption. It could be true, but he didn't. But see, people act like because something is possible, it is what it is because they're biased. I don't believe that for a second. And yes, listen, y'all. I've been going back on Boston news. I went all the way back to like July 28th to see the fallout. I just wanted to see the fallout of the Brown trade. Shh, don't tell them. We're going to miss Jalen Brown. That's all I'm seeing. Man, it's sad Brown had to go. That's all I'm seeing. From Boston news, from Boston people. So this narrative, oh man, Brown is a Kansas. I don't like it. I think that you're trying to tear brother down. I'm not going for that. Yeah, I disagree with that. No. They traded him. Brad Stevens told you why they traded him. Yeah, in today's second apron economy, having 35% of the contract, of the salary, this doesn't make sense. You got to make your choice. You give the one guy the 35%, and then everybody else makes less. That has been the model of success. You just go down the line. SGA, right? Well, you had Tatum and Brown, but they crashed and burned. Jokic, Giannis, just go down the line. It's always the 135%. There's nothing wrong with having somebody at 35%. You see, there's just too many narratives going on. And I love Jalen Brunson, but I just don't like now that everybody thinks that if you don't sacrifice like Brunson, then you don't want to win. That's cap. All of the winners did not sacrifice. It worked for Brunson. It's not going to work from everybody because one of the greatest requirements for a Brunson sacrifice is you got to have a Leon Rose. If you don't got a Leon Rose, only thing you're going to do is shoot yourself in the foot like James Harden. We got the example of the guy who sacrificed, who was the top guy, and didn't do diddly squat. Didn't do nothing. Brunson is the anomaly. Period. Stop comparing other players to Brunson. Oh man, if you don't do what Brunson did, it's not going to work. Once again, 646-995-8389. Call up if you want to talk. Oh, I thought I had a Shams notification. That's Adam Scheffner. You know what's something crazy? Adam Scheffner pops up on my phone all the time, and I never read none of his news because it's all NFL stuff. And I'm not like the biggest NFL guy, but every time he pops up, sometimes because the icons are small, I'm like, is it Shams? No, it's Scheffner. Anyway, Jordan Miller underwent surgery to repair a turn left rotator cuff. He played with the Clippers. I'm not sure if y'all know who that is. What's good, Musa?
What's good?
Nothing much, man. Where you want to go today, man? We having a good conversation, man.
Yeah, you were talking about the second apron stuff today again, huh?
Yeah, well, you know, I showed you the sources, right? I didn't write them. People still blaming Dolan. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, when at first I was opposed to signing Mitch again because I was like, Mitch helped us, in this playoff run and all. But then, the second apron stuff, when you like really put in perspective and how bad it is, just like it's not even worth keeping the dude for a guy who's barely going to play in the playoffs anyway.
That part, right? It's not like he was a starter and we lost him. That would be different.
If you asked me 10 years ago to keep Mitch, I'd be like, yeah, keep him. Don't lose this guy. But now it's like, you can't keep him. There's just pros and cons to the second apron. That's the problem.
There are pros, but I think that,
there's more cons for sure.
I think people should get paid, though, what they worth.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't have to sacrifice when the league is making billions and their advertisers is making billions. But the players get less. It's crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to pay the second apron for no reason.
Bingo.
You can still win the championship. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta have a Leon Rose. You gotta build smart. You gotta put together a team. You gotta really GM today. You gotta put together a team. It can't just be 3 superstars. Them days is over. It's not happening.
Yeah, those days are over now. That was the 2017 days.
100%.
Now you have to you financially think how you can build a team.
100%. So yeah, that's the only reason why I brought it up, because we've been talking about this for the past 2 months and people still haven't caught up to us. So We already know what it's about. But I got a question though.
Yeah.
Can the Knicks repeat, right, if they continue to play from behind? Is that a concern? We went 6-2 when trailing by 10 or more. Do you think that that's something that we should be concerned about going into this next season? Real question.
Yeah, I'd be concerned. I mean, the East got better. I'm not gonna lie and say the East got worse.
What do you think
definitely
is
should
the
be
reasoning
concerned.
for us to? Yeah, what do you think is the reasoning for it though? Us playing from behind.
It's just like a lot of like catching up and scoring to do, right? Like you're just putting a lot of energy and effort into it, and it's burning that energy.
Right.
very
It could be a
quick.
lack of focus too, right? Like sometimes you're so good, it's like you got to find a reason to just turn it up. You know, it's like that competitive edge. Like I like when I play right now, like I like when people talk trash to me. It just makes me want to go harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's
That's
the
what I
media
like.
saying about Brunson though?
Oh, they said that he was number 3 on the
Number
list.
3 in terms of
And I
like
had to
what?
check. He's the number 3 best guard in the league behind Luka and SGA.
That's not even a crazy take, is it?
It is, to me, it is. And if you go back, rewind the show, you see why. But I appreciate you, Musa. Great call, my
No
brother.
problem. Peace
No
out.
doubt. Yeah. Go back and if you just joined the show, trust me, I showed you why I was disrespectful. Jalen Brunson is the best player in the world. I don't care what nobody wants to tell me because I got the information to prove it. None of these guys, SGA, Luka, Jokic, none of them do what he do in the playoffs. He's the best playoff performer in the NBA, and it's not even close. Facts. So, yeah, you could save me with that. Yeah, you could be the best in the regular season. Go get your 35 in the regular season. Has nothing to do with the real season, which is the postseason. What's good, Sean?
Yo, what's good, Karan? Salute to everybody in the chat.
Man, we living life good, man. What's your thoughts, man? Where you want to go? A lot of good topics.
Yeah. I just hopped in the show, so I just heard you say Jalen Brunson is the 3rd best guard in the league right now. That's what you said?
That's what the Athletic said.
Okay, I highly disagree with that because I'm gonna go with this point. Luka haven't won a ring, so why is Luka still number 1 guard in the league?
I don't know.
To me,
They had him in the tier of MVPs and Finals MVPs, but he never won either. So I don't know how that's possible.
Exactly. So let me hit on that because that's the only subject that I know that you was hitting on real quick. Like I said, I just jumped in there. Just real quick, I got my points. The only reason why I say that is because we play the game to win championships, correct?
Yes.
Not to win MVPs, right?
No, not regular season.
Okay. Exactly. And I heard on I want to say Tracy McGrady said this, or the podcast, one of them podcasts said that the MVP the cousin said the MVP hold more weight than the championship. We play to win championships. We don't play to win MVPs. Now that is an individual reward that we are looking at. Exactly. You win to win championships so you can get solidified to be one of the greatest or Hall of Fame, you know what I'm saying, in the NBA. I don't understand why Jalen Brunson is still not getting the credit that he deserves. And then again, he has the most fourth quarter points in the last 3-4 years. Am I correct?
He's the best. He's the best clutch player. Like it's too many stats, Sean. Like it's just too many. It's too many.
Exactly. So that's where I'm not understanding how Luka, just because he performs in the regular season, what does he done in the postseason? First of all, he doesn't stay healthy. Second of all, he made it to the Western Conference, but wasn't that also to Jalen Brunson helping him go into the Western Conference? Am I correct?
Yeah, the one finals they went to, Jalen Brunson was there, but then they went to the finals with Kyrie. But yeah.
Okay, so I'm just not understanding why Jalen Brunson, he was MVP Finals, he won a ring, he won Eastern Conference Finals MVP. How is he still not above Luka? I'm not understanding that.
It's
Now,
weird.
I'm gonna go back to your story that you said last night or yesterday, one of them, Joe Button podcast.
Yeah,
I believe Jalen Brunson is better than Luka. Because
100%.
if you win a ring and you put your team on your back and win, you prove to the NBA that you can carry a team. So
Right.
that's how I'm looking at it. You know what I'm saying? So all the,
100%.
all the other shenanigans, I'm not really with it. But like I said, we're gonna continue to prove our point. And I also want to say this. You just asked the last caller this. You said, is it good for us to win back to back if we keep trailing behind? I don't think so. The reason why
That's real.
I don't say that is because some teams now, when they have the lead, they can continue to push the lead ahead, especially when they play the Knicks, because we got a target on our back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we have to come out the gate firing on all cylinders. And that's what I believe that's what we're going to try to do now. When we get this lead, we're not going to hold off on it. And that's just my take on it. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey, man. Thank you, Sean.
yes,
Great
sir.
call, my
South
brother.
Jamaica Queen signing out. You heard? Appreciate you,
doubt.
Garan. Blessings to you.
Got you. Big time salute. It's my man Sean from Queens. Continue smashing that like button, man. Very important to the YouTube algorithm. We're having a good conversation, man. My question of the day is what Sean just answered. Can the Knicks repeat while playing from behind? Is it a concern? Because we set a record in the NBA. 8 games when trailing by 10 or more, and we went 6-2. You know, I know we can say that's a great thing, yay, but I don't want to come back like that. Not from 10 or down, 10 or more. 8 games out of your 19 is 10 or more down. Then if you want to go deeper, 5 of those games was in the finals. Can we come back? This is what I'm saying. Like, we're going to be playing against grown men in the finals. It's not going to be babies and pups making mistakes, missing layups and passes off the back and just a whole bunch of crybaby stuff. Hold on, what's my crybaby sound once again? A whole bunch of crybabies. I got to keep this over here so I can see. Anyway, you're going to be playing against formidable competition. So that's just what it is. Continue smashing that like button, though. Let's try to get some more people up in the building, man. All right. Well, I wanted to say something. Forgot. Get back to the phone lines. We got somebody. I was looking forward to this brother's call. We got a guy by the name of Mr. Williams, who's got the OKF Nation by storm. What's good, Mr. Williams?
What's good, my friend? How are you today, brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, man. The weather is beautiful, and we're talking about basketball. My favorite thing to do. Where you want to go, sir?
Let me touch a couple, but I got to get to your question at the end, and I got to touch that JB. But first, let me say this. The reason I have an issue with that article, why Sam Presti doesn't get called on the carpet, I think that what should be noted in Dolan's favor is that if Sam Presti has permission of ownership to do whatever he wants to do, which he rightfully has earned the right to do,
right?
Right? Ownership told him in the background, obviously, what Dolan set up front.
Bingo.
So we didn't have no middleman. He was just the middleman. He's the face of the organization. Right. You know what I'm saying? The ownership don't talk. I don't know if I'd know the dudes who own OKC if they sat next to me and I spilled tea in their lap. Wouldn't know who they was. Right? So all you have there is that ownership told him, you can move the world, but you cannot do that, whatever that is, and that happens to be going to the second apron. Now, let me get to the crux of what I need to get off my chest. The reason why, and this is going to be controversial, I'll let you run with it, brother, but I think you may agree. The reason why so many people would say that the regular season MVP is a greater award than achieving the finals MVP is for one simple reason. When you make it to the finals and win a chip, the regular season MVP is a glorified participation trophy. There are hundreds of players who will be part of 82 games.
Right.
There are hundreds of players who will never be part of the 4 series, win 12 out of 28 games. So in reality, yes, it's greater because it's easier for you to achieve. It's like your wannabe runners that you see out in the morning. For them, the 5K, the Chase Bank 5K, the Bethesda Baptist Church quarter mile, that means more. You know why?
Right.
Because 99% of them will never make it to the Boston Marathon, will never make it to the New York City Marathon. So therefore, I agree to the degree. But now, once game 82 is over, you're talking about a player who applies more pressure in the final 28 potential 4 series than he gave you in the previous, as my brother's book says, 82 nights. So in 82 nights, he put on a show. Once the 83rd night got here, brother, this was a private party, and I'm going to show you how to get the get down. So that's why people say that. But also, if you listen close to what I've said, that puts the higher echelon on the MVP of the finals, not just the finals. What did my man bring in? My man brought in Eastern Conference Championship, MVP, right? You want to say that the end season don't matter? That's fine. We got that too, right? This is shop right. This is 7-Eleven. Everything's here. We got car parts in the back. We got food in front, right? So that's why I stand on that. In terms of your question, can they sustain? And I'll save the crux of this for another call. But I'll say this: other team, the Knicks coming back, force other teams to play harder. Here's the problem: when you aggressively know in the back of your mind that this other team can walk you down and no lead is safe, you make mistakes. You hear footsteps, you see ghosts, you hear whistles that weren't blown, and heard coach say stuff that coach ain't never said. You hear Red Auerbach. Red Auerbach been dead since I was like in my early teens, right? That's what happens when you walk a team down. Number 2, can they sustain it? Yes, they can. You know why? Because they're playing under a coach that doesn't drag these boys across the field like prison work camp during the 82. So you know you're going to get rest somewhere. They could never walk dudes down on that level of consistency under Thibs like they do with Mike Brown because dudes is rested. I digress.
Well, look, Mr. Williams, hey, great call as always. I definitely agree with 99.99999%, man. Hey, yo, great call. Even if I didn't, it's still a fire call. Appreciate you, my brother.
Appreciate it, brother.
All right. Big time salute. Hey, the man was cooking. You know what I'm saying? While I don't agree that I don't like playing from behind, but I do like his justification for repeating that. Because you know what it reminded me of? When he says the seeing ghosts, it's like a Tank Davis fight. When you fight Tank Davis, it's not out of the ordinary to see him down. He might be down the first, he might lose the first 6 rounds, 4 out of 2. But in the back of their mind, they know he got that one hitter quitter. In the back of their mind, they know that punch is coming. So they gotta be perfect to avoid that one punch. So I get that. I think that's a fire response. I would say cut it in half though. You know, you can still have your prowess, but I think that we should be more dominant from the start. But part of our dominance is playing from behind, right? That's just who we are. It's a really good question because it's not about right or wrong. You know, it's just how you see it. You know, that's how life is sometimes. Like we get caught up with what's right or what's wrong when it's really just, you know, this is how I see it versus how you see it, right? It is what it is. Let me get back to the phone lines though. That was a good call. Also, when by the way, that's another thing. The 82 nights does have 83 games. It has a slot for 83 games. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but this is not the actual inside of the New York edition because, of course, I got this before the schedule came out. But this is the inside of the 82 nights. But I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see it. But I'm gonna try it anyway. So, like, if you look at the bottom of this chart here, this is a stat tracker chart. You're not gonna be able to see it. The lighting is kind of bright. But it has a spot. It has a spot for 83 games. That was all. I'm working on a presentation that I'm putting together and a website. I'm hoping to have that done this week. So, if you're interested in learning more about the 82 nights, you will be able to go see more footage on it and what it's about, why it's a powerful tool, very powerful tool. The 83 games. Okay, cool. Let me get back to the phone lines. I still got to hit on the athletic. I ain't done with the athletic today. Still stuff I got to hit on. What's going on, DLA?
What's going on, Chief?
Nothing much, man. We having a great conversation, man. I'm curious to see where you want to go because you're an out-of-the-box thinker. I'm curious to see, will you be Phil Jackson or will you be Jalen Brunson?
Nah, we're gonna have a conversation. Number one, the best guard in the league right now is Jalen Brunson. Because if I'm comparing him amongst his peers, it might be a shocker to you. But even though I shouldn't say his style is not my favorite, what he has to do for us to win is not my favorite approach. Put it that way, right? The stuff he has to play to carry us to wins too often is not my favorite style of basketball for a point guard. But when I compare him to his other peers, they play the same style, and he's proven to be the best at that style right now, point blank.
Right.
I'm biased against Shea, maybe. Luka, he has assists, but his assists remind me too much of Russell Westbrook, James Harden type assists that
100%.
are a little stat paddish. You know what I mean? It's not Steve Nash, CP3 type. But there's that. Another question, right, or a statement. There have been 80 champions in NBA history, right? How many of those champions, finals MVPs have not been the best player on the team? For this to even be a conversation.
Very, very few.
Very few, right? Few. So clearly it's the finals MVP.
Right. 100%.
Clearly, you know what I'm saying? Like the data just proves the best player on the championship team is probably one of the best players in the league. So regular season is cool. No disrespect, no shade to Russell Westbrook.
It's fine.
But looking at Russell Westbrook's MVP regular season, there was never a time that I thought Russell Westbrook as the 1A of a team is winning the championship. This is not to disrespect the guy, but just looking at what championship teams have done to win, it's like, okay, great regular season MVP, but I don't think that wins a championship. And then lastly, I have a question about the second apron that you talked about. So excluding two players on our roster, and I'm just talking about their current pay, excluding Jalen Brunson, who's clearly outperformed his pay, and excluding McBride, who I believe also a little bit is underpaid, right? Are there any Knicks who are currently underpaid, excluding those two?
Excluding those two, underpaid?
Right.
Is Jordan Clarkson underpaid? No, I wouldn't say that. I think those are probably the only two off the top of the head.
Right. And I ask that because going forward, obviously the conversation is going to change because some of these deals came before the second apron, blah, 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 blah. But
of course,
this proving to be the blueprint going forward? The fact that
talking about the Knicks, what the Knicks did,
right?
10 seconds.
Because everybody else is going to have to, and even us, going forward, some may argue that Josh Hart is not worth whatever he's going to ask for. Who knows what the market's going to offer him? But he's going to have to, quote unquote, take a pay cut-ish, at least on paper, right? Going forward, we might have to do the same thing.
Here's the problem. You don't have Leon Rose in those equations. So everyone can't do this. So I don't think it's an example for everyone because you can't duplicate what Leon Rose has done. It's hard as hell to duplicate what Sam Presti has done, right? With all them picks and getting that much fortune, getting top pick. You see what I'm saying? How do you duplicate that?
But can Sam Presti duplicate what he did before the second apron in the second apron?
I don't think so because he doesn't have a Paul George and those guys to trade.
You know what I mean?
Another SGA. So yeah, that's why we're going to see how good he is.
Right.
But we gonna
No
see.
doubt. No doubt.
100%.
I'll holler.
Thank you.
Stay up.
That's another thing too. My man Williams was saying, he was talking about Sam Presti. Here's the thing with Sam Presti. The only reason why I brought him up is because he strongly said that the second apron will not break up this team. He said that out of his mouth. That's the only reason why I brought him out. Now, the owner's going to do whatever that world he wants to do, right? That's on the owner. But my point was, he said that, and then he had to, show that, hey, I was wrong, but then he didn't own up to it. He said it was the finances, which like that was separate. That was slick. But I'm just saying, if I'm media, why nobody's calling him out? Clearly there's a bias. That's the only reason why I brought up Sam Presti. I wasn't trying to, come for him or anything like that, but I see the bias. That was it. Smash that like button once again. Keep smashing it. See if my man Blue is available. What's going on, Blue?
Hey, what's good, man?
Nothing much, man. We just having good conversations, man. A lot of good topics. Not sure where you want to go today, but you can let me know.
Let's go. I don't know. I was just listening to what everybody was having to say. Whether Jalen is the best point guard or lead guard in the NBA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
I would agree with it.
Okay, all right. Damn, that was a letdown.
Nah, but look, with a caveat though, I could see why in general league or global perception would say that he is or Doncic would be the preeminent, number one person in the league because of his size. I think that would be primary reason, and not just to, aside from playoffs or Jalen or the Knicks winning the chip. You just look at what happened over their career. You would say, okay, Doncic was a 3-time All NBA player before Jalen got to be an All-Star. So, these are reasonings as to why outsiders would put him above Jalen at that point, or even this point. There are other reasons why he would be considered, ahead of Jalen. He's, just because he's a triple threat in rebounds and assists. And I know that's not the end all be all in terms of whether or not towards the end of the game, who's the man. I mean, it's open for interpretation, I guess. But I can see why the consensus in terms of people who evaluate this type of stuff would put Doncic ahead of Jalen. I mean, scoring titles, I think, didn't Doncic win one? Did he win one?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, right?
Sure he did.
So,
but one thing he didn't get was a title, a real
true,
title.
I know. So that's the caveat why we on this side are saying, yo, get out of here, Doncic. This is Jalen's. So I mean,
so I got a question. Did Luka get a scoring title, or is Luka as dominant in scoring in the playoffs as Brunson?
So if we're just putting playoffs into the summation, no, Doncic doesn't have it. Jalen is he's the man, regardless of the fact, what we've seen, but just what others outside of Knicks fandom, this is what the people are looking at. And I mean, those 3 All NBA scoring titles, him being a bigger guard, him being able to see over the defenses, and him creating that dynamic where people can look at that perspective, it would change some people's mind as to just, the fourth quarter scoring, playoff, dominance that Jalen shows all the
So,
time.
so look, I gotta go Blue, but I got a
Yeah,
question
yeah,
though.
yeah.
When Jalen Brunson beats Luka in the finals this year, do you
Oh,
think
yeah,
they would give him his
it's not.
props?
Of course, I think once we win this upcoming title this year, I think anything to be said about these Knicks, any and everything is going to get thrown out the window because it
Okay.
just shuts every argument down. No matter what the topic of conversation is, whether or not Jalen is the best Knick of all time, that would be shut down too. Like literally every topic of conversation would go by the wayside. But they have to win. Like I've been saying, they have to win. James Dolan to be the consensus best owner in the NBA. They have to win. They have to win this year, man. So
We'll have that
that's
discussion. Hey, yo,
everything.
Blue, I appreciate you, man. Great
No
call.
problem, man. I know.
No
Peace.
doubt. My man, Blue, man. He's an MVP donor. Salute to him. This is why I want Luka in the finals, because I don't want them to give no excuses. I want Philly to win 65 games. I want no excuse. I want to take away all the excuse. Oh, you didn't play anybody. Oh, man, look at you guys. You just skate past. You didn't play nobody. I want the Sixers to win 65 games, so when we dust them off, they're going to be like, man, these Knicks they're so incredible what they done. Oh, man, they beat LeBron and, I just need that praise. And I also need the Lakers in the finals so we could prove once for all why Jalen Brunson is the better guard. I got Luka and Brunson as Ken and Ryu because I feel like they play the same way at some points. The little turnaround shot they do. But the turnaround pivot, that turnaround pivot, if you can do that, you can't be guarded because you could break it out of any. You just don't know when they're going to do it. They could just mid-dribble. All right, turnaround pivot. Turnaround. It's nothing you could do to stop it. Like, I don't know which one of them invented it because I didn't really see nobody shoot the turnaround pivots like that. You know what I mean? Where it's like you just spinning on your foot, not jumping, but like spinning, pivot, and then shoot out of nowhere. Then change direction. It's like you go this way, then you pivot the other way. Defense is lost in the sauce. I remember when I first saw Brunson break that, I said, what was that? I've never seen that. Then I seen Luka do the same. I said, oh, these guys was working on that in Dallas. I see how that works. But continue smashing that like button, though, y'all. Do appreciate you guys and your support. All right. Smash that like button. By the way, I got another call. I'm gonna get to that call. Then I gotta get to this other topic because I gotta come for the Athletic again. My peoples. I love the Athletic, by the way, but I gotta come for them. By the way, I just want to let you guys know, if you keep hearing me talking about the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server, salute the OKF Nation. I say salute the OKF Nation all the time. That's the channel membership. So when you join the channel, it's 2 tiers. You got the OKF Nation and the OKF Nation Plus. I'm telling you right now, this is the most active membership on YouTube you'll ever see. We got a show called Members Only Sundays, a panel discussion. Right? We always have great conversations. We did the Oakley trial. We were the jurors on the Oakley trial. The last conversation we had was about, I can't even remember, but it's always good conversation. Oh, we talked about the refs. We got down to the bottom of the refs trying to screw us in the finals and things of that nature. Great conversation. We do that every Sunday. Then we got the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. It's a 24/7 Knicks chat. Plus, we talk all sports, boxing, basketball, football, whatever. And great conversation is a great way to get more closer to me, greater access to me. Join the Discord server. I'm very active in there. It's not just a server I have and I'm not there. No, I'm there. It comes with a lot. We got a bracket challenge that we're getting ready to do. We're also getting ready to do a fantasy league. Right. The membership is a lot. I'm not gonna lie. It comes with a lot. You know what I'm saying? So this is how you become a part of OKF Nation. You should join the channel and you'll get even more than that. All right. Just wanted to share that. Do got another call. All right, let me get this guy on the line. This is a first time caller, or it might not be. Let me see. Cause the way the new phone system works, like some of the contacts look different, so I can't even tell if it's new or not. Hey, what's going on?
Hello.
How's it going, caller? State your name, where you calling from.
Hey, how you doing, bro? This is Soli from Brooklyn.
Okay, how's it going, man? BK in the building.
Hey, how you doing, man? Just chilling, man. I'm just like frustrated.
Let's go.
Huh?
Let's go. What are you frustrated about?
Nah, I'm just tired of like the stat chasers, man. Disrespecting like actual accomplishments.
Thank
I
you.
remember in 09 and 010, LeBron
Okay.
in the regular season had more points than Kobe, had more assists than Kobe, more rebounds than Kobe, won the MVP, and niggas were still saying, "Oh, I'm sorry," and people were still saying
watch the
that
language.
Kobe. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. And people were still saying that Kobe was the best player in the world because he was the best closer. Now because of Brunson, they switching the whole narrative. No good.
Great point.
No, so
That's what they do.
Yep, and Luka has no MVPs.
None.
So
how they got him in the MVP tier? Could you explain that? Because I write too, right? And I understand you come up with cool stuff, like a cool title like this, like the MVPs and Finals MVPs. But you don't want to change the name, but you got Luka up there. Come on, dog.
This is crazy. But I think I know why. I know, like, these reporters and journalists, they see themselves in Luka. So he kind of, like, represents them in a weird way. Like, the whole, like, stats and analytics. So he makes them right. Like, you know, he holds their narrative as, you know, why stats and analytics, you know, so.
And he's 6'8" too. I didn't even bring up the height bias purposely. I did that purposefully because I didn't want to, because I could, that's like the low hanging fruit to me. I just wanted to point out some of the numbers that since they want numbers, I got plenty of numbers.
Yep. And I'm not saying that Brunson is Kobe. What I'm saying is Kobe was considered the best in his time, like particularly those championship years, because he was considered the best closer in the game. That was what they were hyping. I remember that like vividly because that was my squad, that was my guy. So now Brunson literally has the same superpower, quote unquote, the best closer in the game, the best title, and he doesn't get that respect, especially from a guy that doesn't have the same accolades as a guy like LeBron James. It's crazy.
Hey, that's a strong point right there. But that's what I always argue is the consistency and what standard are you using to compare players. And that's where a lot of them just fall apart, you know, because they don't really have it. They're just going with the name and what's going to get clicks and views.
Yeah, of course, man. Because I remember somebody said it, I was telling somebody at work, they're saying, like, Brunson makes you do your job. Like, you have to watch the game to see what makes him good. You can't just watch the 17-minute highlights on YouTube,
10
man.
seconds.
Say, because he got a flashy dunk or a flashy pass, he's better. Now you got to watch the flow of the game, you know.
100%. Hey, yo, great call, my brother. I got your name and locked in. And so next time you call, I know who you are.
No doubt at all, man. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you. Big time salute.
Peace.
That was a good first time call. You know what I mean? I'm gonna save him his name. I'm gonna lock in his contact. You know, he called himself on the language, but it was cool. You know, he took the warning. But I agree with what he's saying when he brought up the Kobe part. You know, there's a lot of controversy with Kobe because, you know, that whole trial situation he had, once that was going on, it kind of put a damper on Kobe's life from the media perspective. He lost his darling, you know, appeal. Like Brunson has the darling appeal. It's just that there's still other things that hold Brunson back. But Kobe lost that, you know, unfortunately. And, you know, the Steve Nash MVPs, even though I argued that Steve Nash did deserve the MVP, Kobe, to me, was more... The numbers look better. Maybe the team success wasn't as impressive, but, you know, what Kobe brings to the table is, like the brother said, someone who is going to do whatever it takes to win the game. I don't think Steve Nash does that. sorry. He impacts the game, but when you're willing to play through dislocated fingers and, it's just different. He's trying to play with it Achilles. The man is different. He's just different. And Brunson, we call it JB mentality now. Brunson has that. So, that's what's going to propel Brunson to the next level. What's good, D? Is playing from behind strategic from Mike Brown? It's a good question. I don't know, but I will say that the Devontae Tank Davis perspective, like my man Mr. Williams was bringing up, I think it holds some merit, because when you got that one hitter quitter, you'll lose the first couple of rounds. You know what I'm saying? To set it up. But basketball is different, so you can't do that. But I just feel like the team, like I remember when Karl-Anthony Towns said this against the Lakers or one of those teams. It was one of those national TV games. He said, let's show them why we're the best team in the world. That might have been not even this season, though. Well, I can't remember. It could have been this season or it could have been the season before. But he made a statement where he said, let's show them that we're the best team in the world. And part of the confidence can borderline on arrogance when you think you're so good that I'll catch up. Like you're down and you're making excuses for why you're down. I don't know if they struggle with that all the way, but I do think part of it is that it's like, I ain't gonna lie. Like when I first came back off breaking my hand, right? I missed 11 weeks. When I first came back, I was very, passive. Then, my man Rich, salute to my man Rich. He watches the show. He played ball with me up here. And if you in the building, salute. But I told him, yo, this is my first day back after breaking my hand. He was like, no excuses. I don't want to hear no excuses, right? And yo, when he said that, lit a fire under me, yo. We were down 14-3. I started hitting twos. It was 15-3. We was up. So I bring up that story. 15-14, sorry. We was up. So I bring up the story to say that sometimes when you are confident in your game, it could impact you when you're down. Or it can impact you, which can lead to you being down. Because well, all right, we'll get him in the fourth. But that getting him in the fourth or getting him in the third or second quarter, we were a really good second quarter team last year. It's unnecessary energy. We need to start off strong and maintain what we did in the beginning of the game. Because that's a whole nother part. Can you maintain the lead? Yeah, you can go up 20 in the NBA easy. But these teams got three balls too. You think they stopped making the three ball when you started shooting them? Right? So, yeah, it could be strategic, but I think that part of the strategy, though, is the magic is if we are down, right? If we take a team for granted, right? If we don't have okay, so when you go back to the 96 Bulls, I know I'm jumping it a little bit, but it's a lot to this answer because I don't really know. But when you look at the 96 Bulls, the level of focus they had every night. Or even the 98, whatever Bull, 97. The level of focus every night to be the best by default. It wasn't like, all right, we just going super hard. It's just we go hard because that's what we do. We go hard. I don't know if this Knicks team has that in the regular season. In the playoffs, they definitely have it. But during the regular season, you got load management, you coasting, you just going with the flow. That'll get you 50 wins instead of 60-something wins. So I don't know. It could be strategic to save energy, maybe. But, man, you got to be ready so you don't have to get ready. That's a fact. I'm born ready, like Canelo would say. Born ready. I don't have to get ready. I'm always ready. I'm not turning on. I'm on. So I think that's just the mentality and the mind state we need to have going into the season. While yes, the Javonte Tank Davis effect is powerful. When you know you down 29 in a finals and you could come back, never been done before, but you make it look easy. Does that lead to you being down more? I don't know. Good question though, D. Not 100 on that. All right, so I got to come back once again. Salute to the Athletic. You know, they do great work. One of the best. Even though I disagree with them on these lists and things they got out there, doesn't mean they're not a great platform. That's one of my number one sources I go to, because I know when I go get an article on Bob Iger or whoever is going to have the most detail. 100%. It's going to give you stuff that you didn't even think about even wanting to know. But once again, we got to be careful. You have to be careful. One of the things, I went to St. John's University. Salute to the Red Storm. One of the things I learned in college that I always remembered, one, how to research. Because when I was going to college, there was no using websites. You could not use websites as sources when I was in college. So I spent a lot of time in the library where you had to go to the real books. Now, you don't even go to the library. You just go to the online library, right? You don't even, libraries are still important, but they're online. So you don't even have to, and now you could use websites, right? Certain websites you use, certain websites are inappropriate, right? Source criticism, right? So one of the things I learned early in the game was how to represent a population via sampling. So when people say 90% of Americans feel this way, it's because they use randomized sampling. They didn't go to everybody's door to get those numbers. The process of randomized sampling is powerful because it gives you a snapshot as to what not a snapshot, it gives you the fair representation of how the population actually thinks. So the Athletic, like I said, very respectable platform. But I challenge, you know me, I'm a challenge type of guy. I'm not somebody that's just going to I'm a skeptic. There you go. That's the word I want to say. So when I see this, Knicks fan survey is going back to back the expectation in New York. I'm like, so did they do a real random sample of Knicks fans? How do you conduct that? What is the methodology? But they have some very, very interesting findings. By the way, and I'm going to go to our survey in a second that I did on the channel, because, I do every day, I do polls. But I question exactly how people, they come to their conclusions all the time. So salute to my man, James L. Edwards, right? We talk about him quite frequently. Over 3,000 fans let their voices be heard about the Knicks in the upcoming season. Okay. Who are these fans? That's my first question. Are they Knicks fans? Because I could tell you right now, in my channel, the overwhelming majority of people in here are Knicks fans. I don't know if the overwhelming majority of Athletic readers are Knicks fans. I don't know. I don't know how many Knicks fans they have. I don't know how they know how many Knicks fans they have. Is it based off of certain sections they subscribe to? Because I'm going to tell you, me being able to do this, right? Me being able to do this, if you're having trouble, use this link. Hold on. Let me see if they might have took it down. I don't know. And fill out a survey. Dog, this is not how I'm going to get accurate information about how Knicks fans feel. I could go in there right now and fill this out. Put whatever the hell I want. So for the record, while I respect the Athletic, and I'm not saying their information is not good, because it is, right? They're on point. But anybody, and look, submit, look, boop. Oh, hold on. Boop, look, boop. Vote, your vote was submitted. How do you account for that? How do we, what's the checks and balances on that? So they did a survey, right? And like I said, I do these every day, right? And I'm challenging some of the information that was recorded by The Athletic. More in particular, this question here. I asked the same question in my poll today. According to The Athletic, all right, they asked the poll. All right. Now, this is kind of confusing because they got the purple make it to the finals twice. Make it to the finals, make it to the NBA finals. I didn't get that, whatever. But let me just scroll down a little bit so you guys can see it. The question is, how far do the Knicks have to go next season for you to consider it a success? According to their survey, 45% said making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, to all the people in the chat, do you agree that making it to the conference finals will be deemed a success? Keep it real, Knicks Nation. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Bronzeville, you better tread lightly. I'm planning a trip to Bronzeville very soon, Bronzeville Spurs fan. If I was you, I would tread lightly. By the way, the reason why I'm talking to Bronzeville Spurs fan about going to Bronzeville, salute to Bronzeville first off. Got a lot of love for Bronzeville. Know some people from Bronzeville. I'm just going to say this, Bronzeville Spurs fan. We made a bet that when the Knicks beat the Spurs in the finals, which they did, I got to come to your neighborhood in Bronzeville, to your block, with a Jeremy Sohan jersey. You have to wear the jersey, and that's the terms of the bet. So if you don't know, that's who I'm talking to right now. I just want to say this, my brother. Tread lightly. Because I see you going crazy in the chat. You're not making much of sense. You're saying we're one and done and da-da-da-da. Dude, the sad part about the Spurs, y'all might not make it out of the first round. You got to stop. Anyway, let me get back to my bill. I only went in the live chat to see if y'all agree with this. I didn't anticipate seeing the Spurs fan up in there. Let me see. I see finals and bus. All right. I see finals and bus. All right. What do y'all think about this? So I can't see 45% of Knicks fans saying, yeah, man, it'll be successful if we make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Your team might be broken up next year if you make it to the Eastern Conference Finals and you lose. You go to the Eastern Conference Finals and God forbid you lose to Detroit. You lose to the Boston Baked Beans. You lose to any Eastern team in Miami, any one of them. Do you know that could be devastating to the future of your franchise? There's no way where we are as Knick Nations can we think that making it to a conference finals, that would be good enough. That would be success. 33% said make it to the finals. Okay. I don't think I would be upset with making it to the finals. I want to win it. But I'm saying if we got to the finals and lost, is it a success? I'm not a championship and bust guy. I never was. But we still was the best team in the East. I don't know. Well, here's another question. Ooh, and this might be a poll for them all. Would going back to the finals be good enough to keep the team together? That's a hard question right there, boy. Like let's say we go to the finals, we get bumped by the Lakers, we get bumped by the Denver, we get bumped by some other team, not San Antonio, because there's no way San Antonio will ever beat us in the finals. It's not happening. So let's say that happens. Are you going to give OG Anunoby 35%? Are you going to give Jalen Brunson 35%? So I'm not really I'm not a championship or bust guy. I don't think that. I think that that's like really First, though, to get to the championship is very difficult. Then to win it, it's very difficult. So, like, I'll let you live with the finals. So I'm not the 33% to the finals. I could see it. 12% say winning the title again. That, I mean, are y'all jacking that? Only 12% think that making it to the final or winning the title again would be a success. You don't think that our standards are a little bit higher than 12%? And here's the crazy part to me. The crazy part is the 8.5% said making it to the playoffs. You think making it to the playoffs, dude, you think making it to the playoffs, that's going to be success? All right, we're back. We made it to the first round. Out. That's a successful year. Are you serious? So my challenge to The Athletic, salute to The Athletic. Like I said, I use The Athletic every day. They're on the money. To me, they're one of the best articles you could read for sports stuff because they do a great job of filling it with information, useful information. But I can't co-sign this, y'all. I'm sorry, I just can't. I just can't. Where are we going? So what I did was, and I'm not sure how many people voted, but what we'll do right now is we'll go to our community section, right? Where we know that there's a gang of Knicks fans, and we're going to pull it up. I don't know how many people voted. Oh, by the way, check out the Behind the Locker Room interview that I did with my man, James Bush Baker. He went to school with Walt Clyde Frazier back in college, and he gave us all of the stories from back in the day. Definitely go check that interview out right now, right after this show. Great watch. If you want to know about Walt Clyde, it was fire. Of course, we got the OG and OB giveaway. You know what I mean? All you got to do is subscribe. That's it. Subscribe, hit that bell icon, watch the shows. You want to win the OGs, that's all you got to do. But here we go. So I dropped this 8 hours ago. We got 680 votes. Not bad. This might get up to 2K, maybe 2.5K. So we'll do similar numbers to The Athletic. Yeah, we do 3,000. We get 3,000, 2,000 votes every day over here. You feel me? And these are mostly Knicks fans, right? Do we have a couple of Brownsville Spurs fans? Maybe a couple. All right. But how far do you think the Knicks have to go next season for you to consider it a success? The same question as The Athletic. I'm going to say make the finals. All right. And these are the numbers that we got here. So according to Knicks Nation, hey, salute to my Knicks Nation, dog. Off rip, even though I said made it to the finals, right? But off rip, you can see, right, that the overwhelming majority of us want to win the title. So that's why when I go back here, because the thought process is Knicks fans want success, but they don't need another title. Not right now, at least. Not according to my poll. According to my poll, 57% of the 681 votes say they got to win it again. Do y'all see the difference? If you didn't vote on this, go to the community section of this channel and vote on it. I do this every day. Then 24% say make it to the finals. So that is over. How much? What percent is that? That's like 81%. 81% of Knicks fans believe that they got to win the title or make it to the finals. Athletic. All I wanted to do, I just want to see if my fan base confirms your information. And it doesn't. And then you get 15% that make it to the ECF. Okay. I mean, that's a minority. And then 4%, this looks like, now what looks like a more realistic Knick poll? Once again, I'm not trying to slander the Athletic. They do a great job. I'm just a Knicks channel. I get thousands of votes every day. Knicks fans. It looks a little different than this. You see this? It looks a little smidget, just a little different. On their list, only 12% said running it back. On my list, 57%. It's a big difference. Uh-oh, salute to Maxine, the super producer.
Mad Max Productions.
In the building. Hey, what's good, Angie? So whether you say finals or bust or repeat or bust, that is our standard. We're not saying going to the ECF like them. This is what they said. They saying Knicks fans just want to go to the ECF. Come on, dog. Come on. We're not jacking that. So what I did, I said, okay, I'm gonna replicate what you did. I'm gonna ask my audience to see if it corresponds, if it confirms. It doesn't. Hey, yo, J-Tap. Hey, yo, J-Tap. Look at me, J-Tap. Brownsville Spurs fans in the queue, J-Tap. J-Tap, I'm going to answer this call, but I need you to respond. J-Tap, you know what we discussed, right? How long do you think this Brownsville Spurs fan call is going to last, J-Tap? Talk to me, J-Tap. This is only for J-Tap. J-Tap, where you at? How long, J-Tap? Hey, I got the glass bottle. What do you call that? Is it where you can see the future? J-Tap, talk to me, J-Tap. How many of them things we got on deck, J-Tap? Hey, by the way, the OG Anunoby sneaker giveaway was from J-Tap. All right, so just to let you guys know, on this channel, we got certain rules. It's a little different how we do things over here. You feel me? All right, that's the callback option, right? But look, when the opposing team calls up, we got this thing. It's called the $25 hang up. So just to let you know, if the opposing team comes in here talking crazy, now look to the opposing teams. They can talk basketball. I don't mind having a basketball conversation, but if I catch them slipping and tripping, we getting them the hell up out of here. So just know that this option is at your arsenal as a Knicks community. We have the right to listen to what we want to listen to. So I'm just letting you know that that's at your disposal. But J-Tap Mom, he got a lot of arsenal over there. All right. And continue smashing that like button. It's very important to the algorithm, man. Now, The Athletic has more questions. They got how confident are you that the Knicks will be the #1 seed? I'm going to redo this one tomorrow. So if you see me doing these questions, but like them, you know why. I'm testing to see. So some of these questions, like I'm going to do this one here. How confident are you that the Knicks will be #1? Let me show you what I'm talking about. This right here. I'm going to ask this question. All right. Very optimistic, cautiously optimistic, non-zero chance, won't happen. All right. So a lot of people are optimistic they could get but they're not very confident. They're just cautiously optimistic. Okay, I see you, J-Tap. We're talking in Morse code, right? What's it? We call it Morse code, Morse code, whatever they say it was. That's how we talking right now, J-Tap. Let's see what the Brownsville Spurs fan has to say. Give him an opportunity. It's my guy. What's good, Brownsville?
Hey, what's good, my brother?
Man, nothing much, man. I see you going hard in the chat. I'm hoping you trying to have a basketball conversation. Where are we going, Brosville?
I'm having a basketball conversation. I was just a little triggered. That's all.
Okay, you triggered. Okay, all right. Don't make me triggered. But where you want to go?
Listen, man. Do you want to hear the truth? Do you want to hear the truth?
What's the truth? What is the truth?
Let's get to it. If I'm playing on a team, if I'm playing on a team with you, and I'm the number one option, all my numbers are better than yours. I was drafted before you. I have more accolades than you. Would you say that I'm a better player than you?
So if you have more accolades than me, did you win the championship? Finals MVP?
I mean, yeah, but okay. So
no.
I mean,
so your accolades don't matter.
No, right? But then if I did win a championship and have those accolades, then you go to SGA. Is SGA better than Brunson individually?
No, he's not. He's not. No.
Man. You know, this is where it gets a little crazy. Listen, Brunson has moved his value is way up right now. It's up.
So you're talking about regular season stats. My question to you is who has better playoff stats than who has better playoff stats than who has better playoff stats than Brunson? Let's go there. Playoff stats.
You know what Luka playoff stats are? It's damn near triple-double.
Not good enough?
I hear you, but you said who's got better playoff stats. I'm telling you, his are better.
Not good enough.
Now, if you were starting a team tomorrow, this naked, are you picking Luka or Brunson?
Are you saying, am I starting a team like when they first came in the league?
Yeah,
where they are now?
Even whichever phase. I mean, it doesn't matter. He's still a better player. But if you're just starting
Brunson's the best player in the world. I'm starting with Brunson right now.
You know Wemby's the best player in the world, man. Stop it. But let's give Brunson his respect. He's
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to get him up out of here. I'm sorry. Yeah. When he said Wemby's the best player, that was my trigger. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, get him. Yeah. I had to get him up out of here. When he said Wemby, yeah, dog, I'm sorry. Come on, dude. We got these guys. We talking about guys who are losers. Why? In what world do we gotta put? We putting losers up there, dude. The dude lost, and he's the best player in the world. What type of standards do we have? I'm sorry, he triggered me. Remember how he said he was triggered? I told him, don't trigger me. He triggered me. Yeah, I was triggered. Get him out of here. Yeah, yo. But yo, real talk, that Brownsville's my guy. We have fun, and he's a good sport. But he had to go. By the way, opposing team, y'all could call up. But the rope it's not a long rope, man. I got an audience who supports me. So if they don't want to hear you, we gonna get you up out of here. I'm sorry. And when you hear this, because I gotta memorize this. I don't memorize. When you hear that, they had enough. Look, I'm gonna be back tonight. You know, we got more conversation. We're gonna talk about Josh Hart's interview. There's a lot of topics. I ain't gonna lie. There's a lot of good topics, good questions. Expect me back tonight. And two-a-days should continue for a while because there's a lot to talk about. I'm waiting to see what the Knicks do signing-wise. But yeah, in the meantime, in between time, go check out the interview that I did with James Baker. I'm working on another interview. Panel discussions are looking good. I already got the okay from mostly everybody. I got 2 more calls I got to make. So the Mellow panel already set. All I got to do is set a date. So I'll let y'all know about that. It will be in September. All right. And then I'm just working on the Brunson show now. All right. The War Room, looking good. Boston Celtic fan. One y'all all know, just so happened to play in a professional league. That's coming. And what else we got going? and more interviews on the horizon. So, look, man, I appreciate you guys. I'll be back tonight. Until next time, as always, let's go Knicks.